Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 86 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on doing at least two things every day I don't want to do just because I know it'd be good for me. So, yay for day 86. Only 14 days to go. Okay, so I know I could have been done with these videos like months ago, and right now I'm really annoyed because I was like 19, 20 minutes into the video and almost done, and then my phone decided that it had no space because it's a new phone and because I didn't tell it to save it to the SD card, so it was saving it to the phone itself, which apparently has absolutely no storage space. Plus, I've been making a bunch of videos for TikTok, which I have not been putting on YouTube, and so those videos have also been taking up space apparently because I thought I'm just making them on the app, so I didn't realize that they were being saved to my phone camera space, like videos that I could just play, watch, do whatever. And I was like, no, I don't need that. So super frustrated right now, especially since I didn't really want to be making videos tonight. I mean, I do want to make my videos, but I've just been struggling with making videos and struggling with just life. And I don't know if it's just because I'm trying to adjust to all the changes in my life or if it's because of all the positive things in my life and I just don't know how to deal with it, which I know sounds crazy and weird, but it's true. I when things are different from what you're used to, things are different from the norm. Sometimes it's hard to adjust to that. Sometimes it's hard to just accept that. And I am working on accepting that I have value and that I have things of value to say and to share with people. And I'm trying to believe that and to believe when people tell me that I'm amazing and awesome and I'm doing a great job and they like what I have to say, they like what I have to share, and I struggle to continue to do that. And I've always been like an introverted person. I've always been a very isolated, shy person, and just not opened up with who I am on the inside. I've also just really not connected with who I am on the inside because I've always just felt like I didn't fit in and like there was something wrong with me. And always trying to figure out what was wrong with me and how to fix me to make everybody else like me instead of learning to accept me for the way that I am and realizing that there's not something wrong with me and that I don't have to try to fit in. I just have to learn to be myself because I think people will love me and accept me for me. And especially if I love and accept myself for myself. And if people don't, then I don't have to take it personally and I don't have to change who I am because changing who I am doesn't make the other person like me better and it doesn't make them happy. And then I just make myself miserable in the process. So sadly, it's taken me my entire life to figure this out. But still, my default settings, my reverting settings is to go back to people pleasing and seeing what everybody else wants to see or say or do. And I think right now I've just had a lot of stress with some medical issues, not feeling well, and still having to function on a daily basis and do everything in spite of that, which is just thoroughly exhausting. And then I just come home and I'm tired and exhausted and I just have nothing left basically to do anything. And then I keep thinking, but if I do all the things that I need to do, then it will give me energy or it will make me feel better about myself at least. But I just don't because I'm burned out from my day and from my life and feeling like I'm just doing too much. I think I had just have a limited amount of energy that I can process every day. And I think having like a stomach ache and not feeling good every day just kind of drains that energy, along with the fact that I have to try to focus and do things. And right now, work has been slow. So I get bored at work and I really don't like being bored. And so I'm trying not to be bored. I'm trying to look busy. I'm trying to find like busy work to do, which I hate doing, on top of like having to do the job and or just sitting there and twiddling my thumbs and trying not to get in trouble or hoping I'm not going to get into trouble. And so my brain is going off in like crazy places and like and then messing up and not focusing because I'm worried about getting in trouble because I'm not doing anything because there isn't anything to do and then there is something to do and then I'm just anyway, crazy brain, crazy brain. So it just is exhausting for me, mentally, emotionally, physically, just exhausting. So by the time I come home, I'm just like, I don't want to do the things that will build me up and help me feel better spiritually and emotionally so that I have more energy, which these videos do, journaling does. I just haven't been doing those things. So I apologize. Um, anyway, so today, back to doing the two things I don't want to do, which is now one of those things is remaking my video because, like I said, I was 20 minutes in and I had to start over because I don't want to have to edit a video. I don't have to figure out what I said at the end and then just finish it like my 5 minutes or 2 minutes or whatever. And hopefully this time it will record the whole thing, and hopefully it will record it to the SD card and not to the phone itself. But hopefully I've cleared up enough storage that it won't matter either way. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. So today, work, I did not take lunch to work because I did not want to, and I did not make food. Well, I made food last night, but I didn't want to take the leftovers to work because it was upsetting my stomach, because food just seems to upset my stomach. I knew we were having sandwiches today because work alternates. Every other week we do sandwiches, and every other week we do pizza. And so I was like, sandwiches I can have. I just have to take the cheese off. It's no big deal. I can eat sandwiches. Not my favorite. Bread doesn't always agree with me, but it's all right. I can tolerate it for one day, and then I don't have to make lunch. So that was my plan. Went to lunch today, and they did not have sandwiches. They had ordered something else. It wasn't pizza, it was something else. But it was not something that I could eat, because it was macaroni and cheese and cookies and brownies, and then it was looked like salad covered in shredded cheese. It was basically lettuce covered in shredded cheese, which they call salad. I was like, great, with ranch dressing, which I can't have the cheese, I can't have the ranch dressing, I can't have the macaroni and cheese. And then they had little chicken popper kind of a things. And I was like, well, the only thing I can eat is the chicken. And I'm not going to grab an entire plate full of chicken and hog it all to myself. And I'm not even sure it's a good idea to eat it, because I know when they do the breaded chicken, even for the little chicken poppers or whatever, they usually use milk to do that. So it's not a good idea anyway. So then I spent my 30 minutes of lunch trying to find some place nearby to get food, fast food. So spending money I didn't want to be spending, and buying food that I know is not good for me, but hopefully better for me than what they had there. And I ended up just getting like hamburger, fries, and a Coke. Not the healthiest thing in the world. Probably the bread was the only thing that didn't really agree with me, but wasn't too bad actually. And of course, I can order it without cheese and without the other things that I don't like on it. But then it was my turn to clean up the kitchen, so I had to try to clean up the kitchen and eat a sandwich at the same time, eat my hamburger and my lunch, because I didn't have time to eat lunch, but I was supposed to clean. So I'm like, okay. And then I learned that, why you shouldn't walk around and eat while you're, walking. There we go. Because I started choking on bacon from my hamburger. And I was like, that's not cool to be choking on my food. And then, of course, I can't be coughing on choking all over the food that I'm trying to put away while I'm chewing the food that I'm, didn't get a chance to eat for my lunch. So I kind of had to put everything on hold and, cough until I could get the loose bacon out of my mouth and drink a bunch of water. And I was like, that's fantastic. So, and then I ended up going back to work with half a sandwich, half a burger, and fries, and trying to like secretly eat it without, people coming out, to customers coming around, patients, whatever. I was like, I can't be eating at my desk my lunch. So I kind of trying to hide it, but I'm still trying to eat it. So I'm grateful that I can eat really fast, but I know that's not really good because my tummy doesn't process food as quickly. I mean, doesn't digest. I've heard that your body digests better if you spend more time actually chewing your food and enjoying your food and taking time to eat it. And I don't always do that. I have a tendency to just not chew it all the way and swallow chunks whole and things like that. So thankfully I can do that. It makes me feel full a little bit longer. So I'm grateful for that too. But none of those things I wanted to do. And then after work, I went to mail a book to a TikTok influencer. I guess that's what they call them. I don't know if she's a huge influencer or not, but she's got a way lot more followers than I do, obviously. I just recently started on TikTok because my coworkers convinced me. Well, they didn't convince me, but they suggested, and I thought, okay, I will try this TikTok thing to promote my book, which did come in the mail. I'm very excited, by the way, so I will share that with you. This is my book. Don't know if you can see that or how well you can see that. It is Lanoya and the Teachers of Powers, and my friend did the book cover. It looks fantastic. I love it. It's so wonderful. Anyway, that's my book. So it did come in the mail. And so there's someone on TikTok, because I've been scrolling through trying to see what other authors do to get an idea as to how to market my book on TikTok. But I don't really want to use TikTok to share emotional things or personal things like I do my YouTube videos. I just want to use it to market my book, which I'm not really sure how that works. I also know that TikTok is kind of like a whole other generation of people that do videos, and they have different ways of doing things that I don't get. I really don't get it. I don't get the 30-second videos. I don't get the 10-second videos. I don't get the weird little faces you make with the music in the background and the whatever. I was like, and anybody that knows me watching my videos, I don't talk for 30 seconds or 12 seconds. I don't know how to make the short little clip videos. That's just not something for me. And I think I posted a 10-minute video or something about my writing, and they're like, cut these up into like 10 different videos and just put video 1, video 2, video 3. And I was like, I would have to edit it and cut it and do all, like, no, too much work. Too much work. I don't even want to be on the stupid app, let alone doing that. So I'm like, yeah, I don't want to post these things. So I did post a few things. So today I did post something because someone on the app, on the TikTok app that I'm following, because I just found, is requesting books to read. And I was like, you can read my book. But she's requesting books from indie authors. And so I will point out, I kind of have a delayed reaction, delayed response to my brain sometimes. And I don't always think things all the way through before I do them, which I think is a combination of like a delayed reaction, delayed process, whatever. I know there's a technical term for it. I just don't know what it is. But this is my problem, where my brain doesn't process information immediately. And sometimes it processes it a few seconds later, sometimes a few minutes. And if I'm like emotional, whether it's super excited or super depressed or in a traumatic situation, sometimes I don't process it for hours or days later. And so I think being super excited about somebody, being willing to, looking for books and stuff. Ooh, I'm like, here's my book. I have to publish my book, or I have to market my book so you can read my book. Like, the indie author part of that didn't register in my brain right away. And so, and even if I'm reading that it says indie author, I wasn't thinking about what an indie author is. An indie author is an independent author that just self-publishes their books and self-promotes their books and all of those things. So I was initially going to be, I think initially when I started writing a book, I was hoping that some big publishing company would publish my books and help me with them. And I was looking at companies that you can actually pay them like thousands of dollars and they will do all of that. But you're basically paying them up front, and then they'll market your book. And if it sells, you get reimbursed the money. But if it doesn't, then you're out all that money you spent. But they're not. They get their money. So there's lots of companies like that out there. And then there's the big, huge publishing companies that don't charge you anything, but they market your books and you get a smaller percentage of the sales because they're doing all of the work as far as the publishing, as far as the marketing goes, as far as, but then they also keep the copyright to the book, or they own the copyright to the book instead of the author. And they also, they can say what the title is going to be. They can, if they don't like the title, they make you change the title. They can make you change the book cover. You don't have as much say in how they do it. So, and learning that and seeing how of my writing friends that are all independent authors and just wanting to get my book published, I decided I was going to be an indie author, an independent author, instead of going through a publishing company. And I did submit it to like Covenant Publishing and didn't get accepted or whatever. And then I initially wasn't submitting it to the Electric Scroll, which is who published my book. But I paid them to edit my book, and then they said, we also publish, and we would love to publish your book because we like it after having edited it. So I was like, cool. So what they did is they didn't charge me for the additional edits for my book, which I would not have done on my own. I thought after the first edit, I'm like, I'm good and I'm just going to publish it. I didn't think I had to make a whole bunch more edits on my book. So after the initial edit, that's what they did. And then, so they didn't charge me for any additional edits. They didn't charge me for the formatting of the book or the uploading of the book or any of those services that they do offer, like independent authors, that they will do that. And they just will do it for a fee. I didn't have to pay those fees because they were publishing it for me. And then of course they do distribution. So they put it on, it's on Amazon and it's on the Electric Scroll website because that's the publishing company. And then it's out through Smashwords. And I guess Smashwords has a whole bunch of affiliates like Walmart and Barnes and Noble and a whole bunch of other ones I don't even remember that you can Google and find my book on, which I think is really cool. So it's out there on all of those sites if anybody's interested in buying it or purchasing it or whatever. And it's also the ebook version, plus you can buy the paperback version. I think everything through Smashwords, though, and Barnes & Noble is all ebook versions. I think the only paperback version you can get is from Amazon or the Electric Scroll. But but I'm not entirely sure. Again, distribution is all done by my publisher. However, I still own the copyright of my books. So I own the copyright as the author. I got the final say in the book cover. I got the final say in what was put out there. I technically didn't have the final say in what was put out there because I didn't get a proof copy. Like, I didn't pay for a proof copy so I could have a copy before it was published. So I could be like, this is, and then approve or not approve. And then I would have had to get the copy, and then I would have to read it and be like, this is missing, I like this, I don't like this. And I just didn't want to do it. I was like, just put it out there because I don't want to delay the process. I want it to be published. I want to have books in time for the writing conference next month, that I bought a whole bunch of extra books to sell at the book conference. And because I did that, I posted on Facebook that I bought books, that my books came in the mail. And so now I've had 2 people come buy books directly from me. And I was like, you're supposed to buy them on the website, not from me. And one of them I was just mentioning to a friend, and she's like, that's so cool. And I'm like, okay, do you want one? And so she came over, and I didn't expect her to pay for it, but she did, which is really nice. And the other one was today, someone just came over and was like, is your book out? And they offered me some money for it. And I was like, cool. And it's not the price that they would have had to pay on Amazon if they'd bought it, but it was more than what it cost me to get it shipped for me to the author price. So I'm like, I think it's still okay. And I was like, cool. I'm just grateful somebody's interested and wants my book. And I did buy some extra books that I could give to people that have helped me along in the process, like for editing and beta reading and things like that. And I did buy some books for my kids because I want to, encourage them, to show them that they can do anything they set their minds to, and encourage them to follow their dreams and their goals in life. So I just thought that would be cool to give my kids books, share with them what I'm doing. So there's that. So I'm like, so I bought those extra books, but now I've kind of delved into them a little bit more. And so I didn't really want to be doing that, but at the same time, I'm not opposed to doing that. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That was just unexpected. And I'm supposed to have somewhere between 10 and 20 books to have at the bookstore for the writing conference. So I think at this point I'll still have 15 or 16. So I think it's still okay. And I may not even sell all of them at the writing conference, which means I would have to sell them to other people separately, or I would have to eat the cost. So, and I was planning on eating the cost for a handful of books. And so far I really haven't, just the books that I planned on, I think maybe one extra one I sent out that I will have to eat the cost on, but that's okay. I think it's worth it. Anyway, so those are some of the things I did today. The other one that I did today goes back to the TikTok thing. I made a TikTok video today because I've been following some people on TikTok to try to figure out how to promote books. And there's one person that suggested for indie authors to share about their books. And so some people that they've been posting have just said, I'm an author and this is my book, or this is that, this is whatever. And some of them say I'm an indie author. And so I just didn't say I was an indie author. I kind of on the edge of that again. I just said I'm an author and this is my book and this is what it's about. And I tagged the person that did the video because as of right now, I have like 2 followers on TikTok, technically 3, because she followed me on TikTok so that she could dub my video to share it with all of her followers, which is, like I said, thousands more than what I have. Well, thousands. She has thousands and thousands, maybe millions. I don't know. I don't remember the number, but I just know it's a lot. And I'm like, anything over 1,000 or even over 100 is happy to me. So I think she's gaining more followers too. So anyway, that's kind of where that's at. So I put it out there on there. I made that video today, which I didn't really want to, again, because I'm not comfortable selling my book, putting myself out there, because again, I have this hard time believing that I'm worth it, that it's a value, that people would want to read it, that they like it. And I'm kind of in this back and forth place. I was praying to see myself the way that God sees me, or what he wants me to know today. And he was reminding me that I just need his approval and my own approval for what I'm doing. I don't have to get outside approval from other people in order to follow through with my dreams and my goals. And there's that fear. There's that part of me that I'm just waiting and expecting all of the negative feedback, or I'm waiting for everything to just flop and fall apart with my book. And so I've been struggling to get myself to work on my other books and struggling to get myself to promote this book, because I automatically feel like I'm I'm going to fail instead of going to succeed. And I feel like God is setting me up to succeed, and I'm trying to set myself up to fail. So it's kind of this tug of war thing we have going on. And I think God is trying to tell me that I'm going to succeed. And so I need to accept the fact that I'm going to succeed, and I need to just put myself out there and be okay with it. And I'm still not okay with it. I'm working on it because I do want to succeed, and I do want things to go well for me in my life. And I've always imagined things going well for me in my life, but my reality and my imagination have never quite met up. And for things to be going well in my life like this kind of is really exciting and very cool, but I'm still just kind of, waiting for the proverbial other shoe to drop, or for the rug to be pulled out from underneath of me and having it all blow up in my face. And right now it isn't. And I'm just not quite sure how to let go of the anxiety or the anticipation of something going wrong, basically. So I am grateful that nothing is going wrong at the moment. So that's a positive thing for me. Very positive, very grateful for that. So I'm just going to have to wait and see how this plays out. And of course, my book is out there and people are buying it, but I don't know what their responses are. I don't know what their reactions are. And it's kind of like for me giving a gift to someone, and I like to see their reaction when I give them something or see them use it and be like, that's, makes me feel like I did a good job, like I did it right. And I'm kind of waiting for that for this book. And I've had a lot of people tell me that read it, beta read it for me and helped me get it ready to publish, so they like it. But since it's been out, I know people have bought it because, I put it out there, but I haven't heard a response back. So I'm just kind of like, so did you like it? Was it worth it? What I like? And I know I don't need that. And I think that's what God is telling me, is that I need to not expect that. I need to not need that in my life. I just want it. So I kind of crave that, which is, I think maybe that's normal. I don't know if that's normal or not, but just kind of craving that outside approval and acceptance. And so just not really sure what to do at this point or how to go forward with all of this. And this is me talking in circles again, and or still. Anyway, so I put my book out there on that TikTok video. She's going to share it, which I think is really cool. But today it kind of was sinking in, that whole where I don't process information right away, especially when I'm excited about the idea that someone can share my book on TikTok. I don't even think about the fact that I'm not an independent author. I have a publisher. And granted, my publisher is not a big, huge publisher, just a little tiny publisher. And I still have to market my books like an independent author. I did not have to publish or upload my book as an independent author. It's been edited, and it's been formatted by someone else. I can't speak. These words are hard for me to say. I don't know why. Anyway, those things have been done by someone else. So technically I have a publisher. So I kind of feel bad. I went to the post office today to mail a copy of my book basically to this TikTok person who does reviews, because she's like made posts and stuff about opening books that she's going to read, that she's put on her list of books to read. And she sent me a message saying that my book was on her list of books to read. And I'm like, yay, you want a copy? She's like, yes. And I'm like, cool, I'll send it to you. And then I'm going to send it to her today, and it's starting to register in my brain that I'm not an independent author, and she's doing this to support independent authors. And I was like, oh, that doesn't really work. So trying to be honest, I did send her a message on TikTok that I sent her the book, and I sent her the tracking number that I paid for, so it would be tracked and whatever, so that she could monitor it, get it, make sure she gets it, whatever. But then I did tell her that technically I do have a publisher. They're not going to do any marketing for me. I still have to do that all on my own. This is my first book. I still don't know what I'm doing. And I would still really appreciate it if she would still, share my book with everybody on her TikTok channel. That would be fantastic. But if she doesn't feel like she wants to do that, or she doesn't like my book, or however she wants to do that review, I completely understand. And she can just keep the book, because I've already sent it. I'm not going to make her send it back. I'm not going to say she can't read it. I'm not going to do any of those things. So I haven't got a response back as far as that goes, but I just wanted to be honest. I want to try to be honest. I wasn't intentionally trying to mislead her or say that I'm an indie author when I'm not an indie author. Like I said, my brain just didn't process exactly what that meant. Like sometimes I hear words, I can repeat the words back to people, I can repeat back what they said. But for my brain, for me to actually comprehend or to understand, reading comprehension was never my strong point, my strong suit, and always comprehending what other people are saying to me. I don't always comprehend what they're saying, and I've gotten in the habit of just saying okay, so I don't have to feel stupid because I keep repeating myself and I have like saying what? I don't understand what. And then my brain is trying to process while they're repeating things to me, and it just gets all jumbled up in my brain, and I'm like, I don't understand. And I finally like, okay, whatever. And then that gets me in trouble because sometimes my okay to them is like, oh, you agree with me. And I'm like, I'm not agreeing with you. I'm just saying, okay, I understand, or okay, I heard what you said. I just haven't had a chance to process it yet. Give me some time and I'll get back to you on that. But I never add the give me some time, I'll get back to you, or okay, I heard you, or okay, I think I understand what you're saying, or okay, give me a minute to process. Okay, I don't understand what you're saying, but I heard you, whatever. Or okay, you're saying a bunch of words that make absolutely no sense to me, but I just don't want to keep having you repeat them, so let's just move on. So I just don't ever add the other stuff to the end of it. I'm just like, okay. And that gets me in a lot of trouble. So, and in this situation, I think it was the same thing. I'm like, okay, this is a way to get my book marketed. There's someone that's willing to read my book, to share it with their followers. And I'm just going to say, okay, cool, let's do this. And didn't fully register until today that, oh, okay, that's not a good idea because I'm not an independent author. And I think she does it for other companies and other books too. I don't know that she always does it for independent authors. So I'm hoping she'll still do it anyway, even though it's not for an indie author. So I'm just going to have to wait and see what happens with that one. So anyway, that's not something I like to do. I don't like to have to admit that I made mistakes, and I don't, I didn't want to back out on the fact that I told her I would send her a book. So I basically paid the same amount as it cost me to get the book, to send her the book. So pretty much what it would have cost if I had just bought it on Amazon and shipped it to her. So I was like, great, that was fun. So, but at least I feel like by sending her that message that I was being honest, and then she can decide what she wants to do with it from there. And that's the best that I can do as far as like making amends and moving forward. And again, still not entirely sure how to market this book and how to get other people to help me, because word of mouth is the best I got. And I have a small circle of friends and people. And even though it's growing, it's still small, and large groups scare me. I don't know how to deal with large groups and I feel like I'm a bad friend with a small group of friends that I have. I don't know how I would handle being friends with a large group of people. So, all things that scare me, all reasons why I think I just feel overwhelmed and I'm shutting down because I just don't know what to do next. And it's just more things for me to learn, which I do like learning new things. I don't like being bored, but I just feel overwhelmed, or I just feel like I just don't know where to start in this process. I'm like, I need a starting point. I need somebody to guide me through step by step what to do, which is why like scrolling through TikTok, I'm watching what other people are saying. I'm like, do this. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me, but I'll do it because maybe it works. And maybe it doesn't. So anyway, that's all that I have for today. And I'm sure this video is all mumbled and jumbled and back and forth. So thank you for listening to me and my ramblings and my talking in circles. And if you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like it too. And I hope you have a great day full of gratitude, and maybe find one or two things to do today that you don't want to do, but you know would be good for you.